Hi guys, and welcome back to Happiness Sparkles. My name is Frances. I wanted to get on here today and talk about Valentine's Day. I've chosen just a handful of fragrances. They all have something in common, and that is rose. Some of them you can really smell the rose, and others they have the rose kind of in the background. So this is also going to be a little bit of a review and a requested video from my dear friend Abby, who wanted me to get on and give my review on Gris Dior. Um, I mean, everybody kind of has watched reviews done on it, and most people know the fragrance. And I kind of didn't think that anybody would be interested in hearing, my take on it. But Abby kept saying, I want to hear you review Gris Dior. I want to hear your opinion on it. And, everybody has different opinions. And also, fragrance smells different on everyone, and you get different vibes from it. So I said, well, why not? It's coming up to Valentine's Day, and why not include this one because it is a rose fragrance. And if you know me, and a lot of you do, you know how much I love a rose fragrance. So I'm going to leave Gris Dior to the end as a little teaser. And I'm going to talk about one that has won my heart, and it's no surprise to hear the fragrance it is. And we're going to start off the top here with Elizabethan Rose from Penhaligon's. There's a good dent in that one. Now, it's hard to find these in Canada. You can get them, but it's extremely expensive. So this is a niche fragrance from the House of Penhaligon's. I often choose this fragrance for Valentine's Day because it's such a pretty rose. And it's a rose that hits you right in the face. And it reminds me of England. This opens with a Tudor rose. It's got several different kinds of roses. It's a very fresh rose. So you smell the rose and you smell the petals, you smell the green stem as well. And it smells to me like a garden, like an English rose garden after the rain has fallen, and the rain is still laying on the petals. So this opens with a rose, Tudor rose, and it has hazelnut leaf in there as well, which is another green. It also has a little bit of cinnamon. It has a lovely note of tangerine in there. There's a lot of notes in this little guy. There's hazelnut, tangerine, almond, cinnamon, May rose, rose oil, rose. There's some blackcurrant in there. There's some plum. There is red lily, geranium, musk, woody notes, violet, and there is orris root and vetiver. So there's quite a lot of notes in here, but primarily what you get when you smell it is a delicious fresh rose after the rain. So all those notes aside, this is an absolutely unique and stunning fragrance. The little sweetness of the hazelnut in there, and then the dry down, it's quite powdery and quite creamy and quite soft and delicate, but very elegant and very classy. So I think of this as if I'm going out during the day. So for Valentine's Day, not necessarily in the evening would I wear this, but if I'm going out with hubby for lunch, which we often do, instead of going out for dinner at night because it's so busy, we'll go to a nice little restaurant and we'll go for lunch. And I would often wear this one. So that's my first pick for Valentine's Day, Elizabethan Rose by Penhaligon's. And the next one is Labelle, and although there's quite a dent in it, I don't actually pick this up very often. There is a note in it, and not many notes in it, but there's something in it that just kind of, in the dry down, it's just a little bit screechy, and I'm not sure what that is because there's not a lot of notes in it. It is, but it's lovely. It's got a blast of pear, which is a beautiful, sweet, kind of baked pear, and it's got tonka bean. It has a little bit of jasmine and vanilla. So depending on when I pick it up, I can quite enjoy it, and then other times I can't wait to scrub it off. But it is a very sexy fragrance, and men actually absolutely love this fragrance. So yeah, it's basically pear, tonka bean, and vanilla. So you'd think that it would be an easy blind buy, and I did blind buy it. But yeah, I'm not in love with it. But right now I'm smelling it here, not on my skin, but I'm smelling it, and it smells absolutely divine. So I mean, I wouldn't get rid of it because sometimes when I wear it, I do really like it. So yeah, so that's another one that I absolutely love. There is no rose in that, but it's a good one for Valentine's Day. So very romantic. So there's Jean Paul Gaultier Labelle. The next one is actually something that I have repurchased over and over and over again, and this is Haute Couture by Givenchy. And I love this fragrance, as you well know. And there's actually rose in this. I think it's in the middle note. So let me just spray it. But this is a raspberry. It has a lovely raspberry opening. This one has quite a smokiness to it. Now, I'm not sure where the smokiness comes from. There are spices in it, some fruit, uh, raspberries, very prominent in this one, but there's a very distinct cigarette ash smoke to this one that I pick up. Not everyone picks that up, but I pick that up in a good way because it smells like it has icing sugar on it. And I always think of my grandma's attic when I wear this. It dries down to a lovely dusty raspberry with a little bit of rose in there. The rose is in the middle notes, but I get the rose right to the very end, and it just smells like icing sugar dusted over cigarette ash in an ashtray. Not smoky as in cigarette smoke, but I've said that before. That's what I get from this. And it's really addictive. It's really quite addictive. I love this. I'm sure this is my third bottle, easily my third bottle I would go through a bottle of that almost in a year. So, and I do have a backup of that. That's the only fragrance right now I have a backup of because I'm curating my collection right down to the bare bones. So don't be surprised if within the next year you see my collection down to 20 bottles. I wouldn't be surprised. So, but this one will always be in it. Like I know that for a fact, guarantee that. So yeah, so that is my absolutely adorable and will always have it. Haute Couture by Givenchy. Now, the next one that I'm going to talk about is C by Giorgio Armani. And I went through a bottle of this the first year of the pandemic. So that would have been probably 2000, at the end of 2001, maybe the spring of 2001. And I went through a bottle of this, and I couldn't get enough of it. I absolutely couldn't get enough of it. And then I bought another bottle about 6 months later because I kept craving it back in my collection. And I think it's different. I think I might have gotten an older bottle, and this is maybe a newer bottle. It's the same style, but it is a bigger bottle. The one I got was just a small 30 ml, and this is a 50 ml. So I'm not 100% sure that this has not, the formula of this has not changed. In fact, I could bet that this is not the same fragrance. It's not fake. I did get it at Costco, so it's not a fake bottle. This has a sharp opening. It's a Chypre fragrance that was launched, I think, in 2013. And the notes in this are, I'm just going to bring them up because it opens with cassis. Then there's rose in it, because that's also why I'm showing it today. And there is freesia. Base notes are vanilla, patchouli, ambroxan, and woody notes. So I think there's a little sharpness here, and I don't think the patchouli is as well blended as the other bottle I had. This is very sharp on me, and I just don't reach for it. And the other bottle I had, maybe my nose has changed, but I honestly think that this formula is different than the other one. If I hadn't had the other formula, then you wouldn't notice, because it's a beautiful fragrance. But I notice the subtle difference, and it's that subtle difference that makes me not want to reach for it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's another nice one that is very favored by men. Men love this. There's so many flankers to it as well, which I don't have. But yeah, my husband really likes this. Well, he did like the older version, but yeah, but he loved this on me, and I have gotten compliments on this one as well. So yeah, so that's another nice one with rose in it for Valentine's Day. And that is C, the original one by Giorgio Armani. So last but not least, I've left the best for last. I'm going to wear this fragrance today. I wore it yesterday, but I'm going to wear it again today in honor of this review. And this is for you, Abby. This is Christian Dior, Gris Dior, and it is from their private collection. So I have Lala to thank for this wonderful fragrance, for getting it for me and sending it up to me in Canada. So I keep it in the box. It's just, oh, I'm already planning my next bottle, my large bottle. This is the 40 ml bottle of Gris Dior. And I have put a dent in it, and I'm trying not to use it too much, because this is one I'm taking with me to England. So Gris Dior, I'm just going to go ahead and put it right on my skin. And this is a rose fragrance. Absolutely stunning. Stunning. It opens with a very juicy, fresh rose. It has some fruit in there, I believe. Citrus. So it opens with the rose and the citrus, the juiciness. And then this oak moss hits you like almost immediately, right away. All the notes kind of line up and all fold in together to make this amazing fragrance. So that oak moss, which I've smelled oak moss before, but I've never smelled anything quite like this. And the patchouli, which I'm normally not a fan of patchouli, the patchouli in this one is so well blended and so unique that it just sends me into a completely different dimension. And this is definitely another fragrance that I will keep in my collection as long as I can afford to buy a bottle. And yeah, I'm slowly but surely curating my fragrance list down. It's been quite a journey for me to realize what I love and the fragrances that I enjoy the most. And it's really interesting, the journey I've had over the last couple of years since this pandemic, and it's really opened my eyes to niche fragrance. And thank you, Abby, for asking me to do the review on it again after I'd had it for a while. I talked about it a little bit at the beginning when I got it, and then now, because I've had it now for a few months, I can really speak of it from my heart and how it makes me feel. And it's just so unique. It's like nothing I've ever tried before. And if you like a rose fragrance and you like those notes that I mentioned, the citrus really freshens it up, but it's also got a little bit of a sweetness to it. This would be good any time of the year. This is definitely a signature fragrance that you could wear anytime. I think if I had to pick a fragrance for the rest of my life that I could only have one, it would either be this one or Elizabethan Rose. And I almost think it would be this one because this one is a little bit more versatile. I think you could wear this more throughout the year. Although Elizabethan Rose is also a very versatile fragrance with the hazelnut, the sweetness in there, the tonka bean. It's got, it's got freshness and it's got sweetness and it's got them all, and this one is no exception. It's absolutely stunning. So before I go, guys, I just wanted to update you on my jewelry because I know you guys are going to ask me about the jewelry. I did post on my TikTok and Instagram this lovely jewelry that Read Your Heart had sent me over the past 3 or 4 years. The rings being the first thing that they sent me. This beautiful engagement set. It's still a shiny. It's set in sterling silver, and the stones are moissanite, which are 99% like diamond. People can look at this and think that looks like a real diamond. The only giveaway I would say would be the size, because to wear an actual diamond this size would cost you probably in and around somewhere 40,000 maybe or something ridiculous like that, because it is a massive, massive diamond. There's about probably 2 or 3 carats of diamonds here. And then the tennis bracelet as well is another of my favorite. And then these are like crushed sapphire. The facets in them look like diamonds. These are also man-made. These are a man-made sapphire. And when you look at the inside of the sapphire, it's like it just looks like crushed sapphire crystals. It's so beautiful. And the necklace to match. So yeah, that is my little video for today. And I hope you guys are all looking forward to Valentine's Day. And what are you going to be wearing for Valentine's Day? Make a comment down and tell me what fragrance you're going to be wearing. I think it's going to be, for me, it's going to be a toss-up between Elizabethan Rose and Brie Dior. So thank you again for watching. I hope you all have a fabulous day. And as I always say, don't let anyone ever dull your sparkle. Mwah.